wealth of your life. This is wealth in your relationship to self, reflected in your romantic relationships, reflected at work. What do you actually want for yourself? And it's beginning inside of you. This could have saw you go through a dip in September when it came to your actual wealth sector, when it came to your finances, when it came to what you were doing in your practical life. Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Hi Capricorn, so I am Kristen and I am a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of Capricorn's energy for the month of October and how it affects you and your placements. I begin with the astrology and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And if you'd like to know what my clients are saying about me and my client circle, you can see that link to my Trustpilot here as well. And as you all know, I am a global citizen. And so if you have not already, please let me know where you're listening from in the comments and we can all connect and be a strong collective. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. Hi Capricorn, so here we are in the month of October and what we need to know about what is going on with you. You know, I love October. I hate to say that I'm that cliche, but I am that cliche. I love October. I do. I love the air. I love the energy. I love the emotion, the solemn moments of October, the shift from Libra season into Scorpio season. I love October. So the thing about October, Capricorn, is October is also, I believe, going to be quite good to you. We're going to jump into this. When it comes to September, September was an interesting month because, like I tell you guys all the time, when September begins, it's like Capricorn's year beginning. You know, when we step into Virgo season, Virgo gives Capricorn energy boost. It gives Capricorn a lot of momentum, and Capricorn thrives during that newness in September, the aliveness of September. And that's what happened for you. We started the month very mucky for you. It was very emotional. It was emotional for the entire collective. But it was emotional. It was intense. It was slow. It's like everything slowed down. Everything moved like molasses through the air. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of things tied to relationships and people and patterns, and your insecurities came up to find you, Capricorn. The insecurities that you have been feeling have been really beating you up throughout the summer as Saturn shifted into Aries, trying to get you to step out on courage when it comes to who it is that you are and how you're going to reclaim your sense of identity, your sense of self inside, reclaim yourself from family, reclaim yourself from mother, and what that means for you. Now, this was doing a number on you throughout the summer, and it kind of put you in a bit of a dark place in August, and then September came around, and it pressurized you in that first half of September when all of those, let's say, water energies came up to the surface and wanted to come in and introduce themselves to you when you went back into feeling like a Pisces because Saturn shifted into Pisces. And it put let's say, a focus on what is going on in your relationships, your close quarters, the people around you, your relationship with your neighbors, your relationship with community in general, while Aries is still pushing you through this wound in the fourth house. And it was a difficult journey to go from an Aries into a Pisces again, right? And with Neptune still in the skies, in the subconscious mind is this fight, right? And the thing about you, Capricorn, because you've changed and transformed and grown, this intense aqua Pluto is saying self-worth, self-love, self-worth, self-love, self-wealth, right? And so you are not the same person that you used to be, and you do not want to live life the way that you used to live it. And every single one of your decisions are circling around the way in which you're transforming, around your self-worth, around what you feel like you deserve, and the wealth of your life. This is wealth in your relationship to self, reflected in your romantic relationships, reflected at work. What do you actually want for yourself? And it's beginning inside of you. This could have saw you go through a dip in September when it came to your actual wealth sector, when it came to your finances, when it came to what you were doing in your practical life, because you're being reworked when it comes to what is inside of you. How much success for you, Capricorn, has actually been based on true self-wealth versus you being able to generate from a place that maybe comes from insecurity, right? And this is being shaken up so that you could really understand who it is that you are. And again, a lot of things tied to relationships, but it ended September in a way that was much more soft, much more progressive in that way. So when we enter in October, Capricorn, we are in a space where Mercury enters into Scorpio on the 6th of October. When Mercury enters into Scorpio, it shifts the conversation into a deeper place. It takes it so that you're no longer, as of now, when you begin October, you're so focused on conversations being around who it is that you want to be in the world, your career, your status in the world, your long-term relationships. You could have had a lot of conversations about marriages. What kind of commitments did you want to have? Where did you want to see yourself in the long term when it comes to other people, or who it is that people are showing up as in your life, right? So these are the kind of conversations you were having. And because remember, this is your personal reading, so this is what's going on emotionally. It was coming from a space of you knowing who it is that you wanted to be in the world. There's a deep desire to control your public image, to really show the world who it is that you want to be at an interpersonal level and also an external level. And this was a big conversation as your relationships were shifting and reflecting back to you your relationship to your self-worth and what it is that you will no longer tolerate versus what it is that you want to experience. When Mercury shifts into Scorpio in October, this changes the dialogue into a deeper place, as I'm saying. Scorpio for you is also around your social circles. So who do you have around you? Your social networks. You guys can find yourselves having a much more progressive relationship with the way in which you communicate yourself online, for example. Obviously, this is not your career reading, but feeling more smooth and more seamless with the way you communicate yourself to your public community in the month of October because of this shift happening into Scorpio. You want to be honest and you want to feel deeper. You want things to feel uh, more true. You want things to feel more intense. Scorpio teaches you how to expand. Scorpio is always there to expand you, to show you, open new doors for you, so show you new social circles, show you new worlds in that way. And this is the shift that happens in the first as we step into October. You're seeing things differently, you're speaking differently and seeing new doors opening for yourself. You want this expansion. On the very same day, we have the full moon entering into Aries, and this Capricorn is obviously a big moment. Aries has been doing a lot to you. Aries has been really, pushing you in many different directions, but also causing you to be the kind of person where you can push others. Aries is a volatile energy, and you, Capricorn, pride yourself in being able to have self-control. But with Aries moving through the skies the way that it has, it can cause you to be a bit of a headbutter. Aries can remind you that you are a powerhouse in a way that is both positive as well as negative, right? It's all subjective. So when the full moon enters into Aries, this puts you back into a space where you are closing cycles tied to, again, these fourth house matters, the things that were really pressurized in September. Again, whatever wounds you have from your childhood, whatever perceptions that particularly your mother put into you or made you feel, or again, if you're going through a mother wound, whatever it is going on in that direction, how you've been addressing that throughout this year, especially since Aries season, has been a big conversation. And throughout the summer as well, it went very, very deep inside in terms of asking you to be very clear on who it is that you are versus where it is that you came from, or how you feel you were supposed to be, reworking childhood dynamics, reworking old ideas, especially for those of you who are in relationships, old ideas tied to what you think of your relationships or who you need to be in those relationships because of what it is that you saw play out in your childhood dynamics. So this is the kind of thing that comes to a close when we first enter into August with this full moon in Aries. Now, some of you can find yourselves being in conflict, where Mercury in Scorpio in combination with the full moon being in Aries, you want to get very serious and very deep with your social circle about how it is that you feel and what it is that you want for yourself. You're feeling like a pioneer in your ability to communicate yourself. You want these cycles to end. You want this feeling to end, that you have to fight to be who it is that you are, that you have to push against things that hold you back, that you have to pioneer too much and prove, or you're fighting an invisible battle with your childhood. These are the kinds of things that want to come to a close, and you're putting in that momentum in the very beginning of October. From there, we have the last quarter moon in Cancer and Venus entering into Libra, and also Saturn stationing direct, all on the 13th, October 13th, all on the 13th of October. Oh, I'm going to cut that part. So we have the last quarter moon in Cancer. Venus enters into Libra, and Pluto stations direct, all on the 13th of October. So the thing about this energy, obviously, we see the last quarter moon into Cancer asking us what it is that we will release, tied to, again, these internal matters, home matters. This is trining with the Jupiter transit cycles that you want to end. You could also witness patterns playing out in your current life pertaining to your relationships because of the way Jupiter is in Cancer, that are things that you've experienced or saw play out in your family dynamics at a very young age, and not wanting to see them repeat, not wanting to see these things affect you, right? And this happens with Venus entering into Libra, and Venus is comfortable in Libra, and Pluto is finally stationing direct. So it's not so much pressure. The pressure gets released in terms of, I know my worth. I know my worth. I know my worth. I know what I want. I know what I want. All of these things, the pressure gets released on the 13th of October, and a softness happens as Venus enters into Libra. Obviously, we're still in the aftermath of the full moon in Aries, but again, it's that full moon in Aries wants to close that feeling of fight, that feeling of aggression, that feeling of I need to prove, I need to do, I need to, step out on courage, I need to do all these things. It softens you. Right? So this energy steps in the second week of October, allowing for a softening. When Venus enters into Libra, it's very comfortable. And for you, it's your 10th house as well. But it puts you in a space of more luxury, more softness. And it says, okay, I've done the work that I needed to do to prove my value, to prove my worth, to prove who it is that I am, to prove what it is that I want, or to prove what it is that I will no longer tolerate. So this is the kind of energy that takes place on that 13th of October. And again, a deep breath, like a sigh, can happen for you, in and out, and say, okay, I don't feel so much like I have to headbutt it. It's a softening kind of energy, which is very nice. And then obviously Venus is putting you in a space where you're prioritizing the luxuries of what you want to have in your life, but most importantly, your public image. It adds a softening to your public image. It says, now that I feel like I no longer have to prove who I am, how do I want to show up as I am? And doing it in a way that is more confident, doing it in a way that is more romantic, doing it in a way that is more vibrant, right? It's seeing this progression happen. And I would say, this isn't the love reading, but I would say there is a progress, a step up that happens in love around that time period, like a rested moment. So then we move into the third week with the new moon entering into Libra. Neptune retrograde goes into Pisces, thank goodness. And then and the sun enters into Scorpio, and Jupiter squares Chiron. So let's break that all down. When the new moon enters into Libra, so again, this pushes this softening energy, this who do I want to be in the world energy, how do I want to control my public narrative, how do I want to be the person that I know that I wanted to be. This is not just a superficial image, Capricorn. You've been forced out of superficiality. You were forced out of it at the end of your Pluto transit. This is more you understanding your self-worth and your self-wealth and saying, this is who it is that I want to be. A strong sense of confidence pushes through you, and it pushes your back straight, but not in a way that is so aggressive, but in a way that is a softening, a way that is just an encouraging movement, right? And then with that, we have Neptune retrograde going into Pisces. And this is an amazing energy, Capricorn, because as you're in this Libra new moon that is giving you all of these new ideas and perspectives about how you can be in the world, of how you can shape your career and your image in the world, and most importantly, feel confident and stable in who it is that you are. You've been through a lot of change, you've been through a lot of difficulty, and like I said, throughout the last half of the summer into September, you felt a lot of insecurity. And so it's like this push out happens and says, I'm very comfortable in who it is that I am. I know what I want to do now. I know who I am now. The world will open up around you and show it to you as well. So wherever you are, Capricorn, things around you are going to show you that you are enough. They're going to show you that there is room for you. You can stretch your limbs. There's value in who it is that you are in the world. There's value in your standing, value in your status. And it gives you all these beautiful new possibilities with this. After the first half of October, shows you the ways in which you want to close the door and close old patterns tied to feeling like you have to fight and feeling like you have to prove and feeling like, again, for a lot of you, who you were as children versus who you want to be as adults, especially if you have a lot of childhood wounds or feel stifled by where it is that you came from, or again, most of you with the mother wound or family wound, whatever those dynamics said to you about the possibilities of what it is that you could accomplish for yourself, it's breaking all of that off. It's moving all of it off of you, like taking off wet clothes, right? So then when this new moon happens into Libra, it's a breath of fresh air in saying, okay, I don't have to fight. I don't have to prove. I don't have to be so aggressive. If Pluto is now back in direct, Pluto is showing me, it opens my eyes to seeing that those last bits of things that have happened to you, Capricorn, were to get you to change. They were to get you to transform, to understand what could be possible for you, to understand the possibilities for you. Now, when we see Neptune entering into Aries, or keep in mind, Neptune is still retrograde. So a part of the aggression, a part of the fight, a part of the me versus the other, a part of the strain on relationships. 1 minute you're connected, next minute you're disconnected. 1 minute you're committed, next minute you're not committed. 1 minute you want to work it out with someone else, next minute you want to work it out alone. 1 minute you want to restore your relationship with your family, next minute you do not. This back and forth kind of dynamic that is playing out is because of what's going on with Neptune. Neptune is reminding you, because it's in Aries and it's in retrograde, it's reminding you of that feeling of fighting. It's reminding you of that feeling that you need to prove all of the things that you felt like you had to do when you were in your early development. When, again, your fourth house, what shaped you, your home, how you grew up, things like that. This kind of energy, it's shaping you. So it can create an illusion around your mind that you have to fight in places that you probably do not have to. And then it's also asking you to pick up the spaces where you're not noticing that, right? So it's showing you where your self-worth wants to put more kick in you to say, I will not tolerate, I will no longer do. And this is a lot of progression energy happening for you, Capricorn. It's powerful what this Aries retrograde and Neptune is doing for you, but it's also destructive. So when the Neptune retrograde enters into Pisces, it cools you down. Remember, you went through this in the first half of September when Saturn in Pisces turned into Saturn in Aries turned into Saturn in Pisces, and this shift into Neptune does the same. You shift back into a softer space, but again, like what happened with Saturn, it's still in retrograde. So though you shift back into a Piscean energy, which softens you, it still makes you confused about where your victimhood lies versus where it doesn't. It's like a cooling off of fire. So it's a quite, aggressive moment, shifting moment as you go into this change, right? Now with this, like I said, the sun enters into Scorpio on the very same day. So as the sun enters into Scorpio, here you are into the deep. Here you are focused on who you have around you, being very particular about who you have around you. You want your connections and your relationships to reflect you in a very positive way. You want to feel safe and accepted with who it is that is around you, but from a much deeper space of self-worth. I keep saying it, Capricorn, because it is very important. And so that's what happens around this time period. It's, I will not deal with this again. I won't deal with that again. But as this shift happens, again, it's this softening and the door opens to a new social paradigm. All right. So this isn't just about who it is that you're around. Remember, this is your personal reading. This is happening inside. So a new shift happens when it comes to the social paradigm that says, okay, all of this work has been done. All of this stuff has been awakened. And here is this softening happen. What will I do? And I want to ensure that these relationship dynamics are ones that serve me. I want to be sure that these relationship dynamics are ones that make me feel honored, right? Deeper. You feel so good in Scorpio energy, Capricorn. Scorpio season is very nice for you. It's very progressive for you. You're very comfortable in Scorpio's arms. And Scorpio reminds you that it's okay for you to be deeper. Scorpio reminds you that you don't have to talk so much and you can be your deeper, more solemn self. Scorpio is not shallow water. Scorpio is deeper water, and you feel very safe in Scorpio's deeper waters, and you don't feel so pressurized in terms of having to show up in the world, which you feel the pressure to do a lot of the times, Capricorn. You pull yourself out of the ocean often and force yourself into the world in a way that can wound you and can damage you. And what's been going on in terms of yourself, your childhood, old patterns, old ideas, attracting people that awaken old patterns and trigger you and things like that. This energy happening in Scorpio season softens that. It deepens you, it quiets you, and it reminds you that it's okay to be fully yourself, right? And not repeat patterns, which is nice. Then we have the next day, Jupiter squares Chiron, which is the Jupiter in Cancer is squaring Chiron in Aries. So this brings about, again, an interesting energy as you're dealing with these things with social dynamics. How do your relationships, again, fight against your wounds, fight against those childhood wounds? And as this Jupiter square happens in Chiron, this can awaken some kind of early conflict in Scorpio season, some kind of, now this doesn't have to be explosive. It can be simply realizing, you know what, I don't want any of these people around me. I'm tired of entertaining this. I'm no longer doing this. And I can see it clearly with my eyes wide open. And the answer is no. Very simple. And then unaliving the part of yourself that would entertain it, give life to it. The answer is just no. Now, and we end October in a space where Mercury enters into Sagittarius and the first quarter moon happens in Aquarius. So I would say we enter into November, exiting October in a space where Mercury goes into a place where you're very focused on your subconscious mind. So the things that are very deep that you feel like you cannot control. Sagittarius season was quite intense for you last year, SeaGoat. It was really rough. It was a lot going on inside of your mind, things weighing on the mind. When Mercury goes into Sagittarius, you're very focused on pushing out of those subconscious belief systems. So this can find you in a space, especially in the relationships that you trust, really talking about the things that are buried inside. Trying to work through your patterns. For a lot of you Capricorns, you've been attracting people into your life that reflect your self-worth, right? Which are people that you feel safe with, people that you feel like you can be entirely honest with, people that you feel like you can share your truth with, share your secrets with, share your depth with. And that's a part of wealth. That's a part of self-worth. Self-worth is not just reflected in having people around you of great status, Capricorn, and you've been broken down to have to understand that true worth attracts real love. And real love doesn't always look the way we think it should, right? It doesn't always, what good relationships or what relationships would actually serve us don't always show up in the way that maybe our fourth house, maybe our families, maybe our traditions, maybe our cultural narratives, all of it is conditioning. Culture is simply conditioning, right? Not all of these things reflect what it is that we once thought we wanted or saw. So this awakening happens, this opening happens, and there's a deepening with who it is that you're around, getting them to understand what's going on in your mind, having more honest and deeper conversations. Really, you start to invest in breaking through your subconscious. So whatever's happening in your life, no matter wherever you are, right? So wherever you're living or whomever you're around, puts you into a space where you're realizing your subconscious patterns. And so it awakens this need to heal because of what's going on in your subconscious patterns. So it's a very healing month. Let's just say October. It's a lot of internal stuff. It's a lot of internal battling, internal conversations, internal redirection, breaking through internal conditionings and wounds, right? And that's the thing that takes place when it comes to October. It's very quiet, it's very inside, and you want to make sure that the people around you are people that you trust. And this is something that you're going to do inevitably, SeaGoat. You're going to feel this quieter energy, and some of it can be born from resentment. And it's this, not necessarily strong walls, because you don't need them anymore. It's more in a space where you say in the first half of October, I'm putting down these swords. I'm putting down, or more the wands, right? Because it's Aries. I'm putting down these wands, and I'm no longer interested in fighting. And so the tolerance goes away. And with that, it begins to simplify within you, and those boundaries build. And Scorpio gifts you with the beautiful thing that Scorpio teaches you, Capricorn, which is living in your authentic self. And Scorpio tends to challenge you because Scorpio asks you to be more vulnerable in a way that isn't so surface level, and to quiet down and sit down and be more inside, more real with yourself, more willing to pick yourself apart, and willing to, again, navigate in your deeper waters. So I don't feel this is going to be a difficult month in your personal life. This is more of a subconscious month, more of a deeply healing month, where you're moving through the muck inside and building, well, not necessarily building those walls, but you're standing taller. So you're tolerating less, and you're breaking through your own conditioning, especially as the month of October comes to a close. Okay, so that is what I have for you, my dear sea goats, and we are going to get into the reading now. Hi, Capricorn. So here we are for your personal reading for the month of October. And what's interesting here, Capricorn, is because I see that you're moving forward. You're moving forward at your own pace, let's just say, something that is natural for you, something that is, let's say, traditionally you, Capricorn. You are the Knight of Pentacles. This is you in your comfort zone. This is you in your safe space. When the storm has ruptured and you decide to dust everything off and, yeah, be unafraid at moving slowly. There's a lot of empowerment that you find when you're stepping into this Knight of Pentacles energy, Capricorn. You're empowered in your forward movement. You are focused on stopping the negative patterns that you've been in. You want to end the pattern. You want to end what has gone on. You're breaking out of an old paradigm. Again, there's something here about moving forward, and you're not doing it quickly. Again, there's a slow, deliberate pace, and you feel every second, you feel every moment of it. It's progressive, it's progress, and it's you saying very deliberately, here's what I will not do again. I am ending the pattern. I am closing out this old story. Now, next to that, Capricorn, and a lot of things here for you guys, because I pulled a little bit different than I normally do, because we see the Knight of Pentacles here with the Two of Wands. But I also pulled some of these other cards of mine that I normally pull at the end, but I wanted to bring them in. Independence was what was clarifying this energy, Capricorn. And limitations was clarifying what was going on with the Judgment. So as we see what's going on with this Knight of Pentacles along with this Two of Clubs and this Axe energy, again, it's you stepping out on your own independence. It's you stepping out and ending a pattern. You're no longer allowing yourself to be burdened or wounded. A lot of you guys are separating yourselves from people. But again, it's you're stepping out on your own. There's something about the heaviness or the weight of your relationships, of the weight of the old paradigms, the old stories, the old wounds. You're letting it go, you're putting it behind you, and you're doing it one foot in front of the other with strength and deliberate movement. Now, when it comes to this, we see the Judgment here with limitations, the Four of Spades and sunglasses. So along with this energy that you're going to be doing when you're moving forward deliberately and with, let's say, empowered, slow, your time, your pace steps, going out on your own energy, This is accompanied here with the Judgment. The Judgment is sitting here with the major arcana. Obviously, in your shadow, we see two majors as well. Your Judgment sitting here in the subject matter, letting me know that this is quite an intense energy. So even in your shadow, although your shadow is sitting with majors, we see that what's in your, again, we have another month, Capricorn, where your fears are pretty big. We see that your shadow is pretty big this month. Okay. But we also see that what's happening in your reality is also taking up just as much space, just as much, moving at just as much of an intense pace, let's just say, because we have the Judgment, the horn sounds, and it's telling you to let go of your limitations, Capricorn. It's telling you to let go of your worries, Capricorn. Okay, let go of the worries, because the Four of Spades here is letting you know that it's time to go into a space of rest and relaxation. So, what's playing out for you this month? This feels like a balanced time, Capricorn. It's slow. October feels slow, it feels eerie almost, very, those slow moving steps that take place in October. There's something about the days that are going to move very slowly, and because they're going to move slowly, you are being very deliberate. It's like you are regaining control over your life and your narrative, because time feels like it's in your hands, Capricorn. I mean, you are the master of time. You are a child of Saturn in that way, right? When things move slowly, you gain empowerment. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest card in the deck, and you find, let's say, strength in it. Like I mentioned before, there's strength in being able to master time, moving at your own pace, and you're doing it with independence, you're doing it with diligence, you're doing it with power, and you're doing it to stop old patterns, to stop old narratives. You're stepping out, you're doing it on your own, and you're gaining that momentum deep within. And this is, again, the Judgment sounds. And a lot of this, I can't help but feel like, again, is about your perception, Capricorn, because we see the sunglasses here, focusing out perception. You are ending negative perception, Capricorn, letting go of limitations, fears, worry, doubt. Let go of your worries. Four of Swords energy here with the Four of Spades. You get this clarity this month, and it's a big, huge revelation. And that big, huge revelation says to you, I have been looking at things the wrong way. I have been focused on things the wrong way. My perception has been entirely distorted. And as my perception has been entirely distorted, what I am aligning with is separating from this negative perspective, separating from this negative view, right? From focusing out, from having a misaligned way of seeing things, a misaligned way of understanding things. And that's what's taking place for you. You're resting this month, Capricorn. It's you move forward, you're doing it on your own. You have this sense of strength, you have this sense of independence. You're feeling it, you're feeling every minute of it. I'm ending the old. I'm finishing it. It's done. It's finished. I'm now moving forward. You feel this momentum, this ability to move forward, dusting yourself off, stepping out and doing it with strength, doing it at your own pace. And what it's saying is, I am ending the old way I'm seeing things. I'm ending my misaligned judgments, my misaligned self perceptions, and it's allowing me to find ease. It's allowing me to find grace. It's allowing me to rest. It's allowing me to rest and put down these worries. I'm able to see past my limitations this month. You're seeing past your limitations, SeaGoat. This is powerful energy. I love what's going on with this energy. Now, what's going on in your shadow here is we see the Conqueror. The Conqueror is there, and it is backed up by Stoicism in reverse. Okay, so this kind of energy is very straightforward in this way, where you're worried about an energy that is bigger than you. You're worried about an energy that is bigger than you, and you're also worried about letting go, right? What's going to happen when you let go? This fear of indecision, this fear of misdirection, this fear of not knowing what's going to happen, afraid of something bigger than you, afraid of someone bigger than you. It's interesting when we look at the Conqueror as a looming energy of fear. Who is bigger than you, Capricorn? Remember, this is your personal reading, so this is happening inside. This is happening inside. It's like something feels bigger than me. I'm afraid. And it's a masculine energy as well. It's like I'm afraid of something having control over me, something dictating me, someone bigger than me dictating me, and that I can't let go. And I can't relax really, and I can't let go and let God, because this thing, this figure, this person wants a lot of control. They're making a big impact, one bigger than I'm comfortable with, right? That's what's going on in your fears. Those are heavy fears, right? They're uncomfortable. I can't say anything other than that, right? But like I said, what we see going on in your subject, despite this looming energy, right? This looming energy of something bigger than you controlling you, you're moving forward. You're moving forward and you're separating from anxieties. You're releasing worries. So I like this because even though you have this in your shadow, you realize that it's all about perception. And it's all about how you're seeing things as you slowly step back into your own groove and end this feeling that something can control you, that something is bigger than you. Okay. Now, in simple terms, a lot of you can find a shadow looming this month where you feel like these authority figures want to control you. A lot of you guys can run into powerful masculine figures that seem like they want to exercise some kind of authority over you. There's a looming kind of energy. I think it was last month or the month before we saw you in this page of Pentacles. I think it was this month, September. In September, we saw this energy of you feeling like a page, right? Like having to go back into a page's energy. Something about your life making you feel small, right? So it's interesting that here we are in the very next month, and this is the aftermath of this. Now it's just in the fear. It's not in the subject. It's not happening anymore. What's happening is you're getting up. What's happening is you're getting out. But it's still in the back of your mind. Who controls you? These big figures that dominate, that want dominance, that want control. Like I said, some of you can become aware of this, right? You can look around you in your subconscious this month and be aware of these powerful masculine figures that want dominance, that want control. They are these authority figures and they're looming around you. They're not touching you though, Capricorn. They're not touching you, but you're aware of them. It's not just become, this is something you've been feeling. It's a lingering energy from September, but it's an awareness that stands around you, right? But anyway, Capricorn, so when we're looking at the advice that you need, we see heaven sent with Pandora's gift. So, heaven sent with Pandora's gift lets us know that you need to understand, Capricorn, that you are divinely protected. And as you are aware of your divine protection, Capricorn, you're going into a space of Pandora's gift. And what does this say? There is more to be had underneath the surface. There is more that you do not see. The divine is guiding you this month. Okay, the divine is guiding. So, where you're fearful that you cannot let go and let God, the advice here is that you can indeed do so. Okay. The divine is guiding your steps this month. Understand that divine protection is at play and that you yourself is covered by this energy. Pandora's gift also lets me know there's more to uncover here, right? Step into the places that you once found as uncomfortable. Step into the places that you once found difficult, Capricorn. It's asking you to go within. See the beauty in your life. See the beauty in your situations. See the gifts that are given in front of you. Now, when we look at Pearl of Sharo, Pearl of Sharo is a water energy, Capricorn. Okay. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access the wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on your spiritual path this lifetime, Capricorn. So what I love about this energy in specific is it's always about understanding that what is dark wants to submit itself to the light. But there is something here about responsibility. You need to take control, SeaGoat. but not from a space of an emperor. You're not the emperor this month, Capricorn, and that's okay. In fact, you are the knight. Slow step, moment by moment, regaining a sense of control over your life, moving forward piece by piece, right? There's a lot of empowerment in being the knight again, especially as you felt like a page just the month prior. And again, your mind is awakening to the fact that these worries that you have are in your own head. They're about perception. This month is not about you being entirely empowered. Instead, it's about you taking control through the great power that is responsibility and allowing the dark to submit to the light because you are unafraid of it. Okay. And this is what's happening in your emotional body. Now, in the practical sense, we go through the emotions in order to practicalize in our life. So, what is going to be happening as you go through this shift emotionally, SeaGoat, is you will be able to sense the best timing and approach to take to create space for healing and resolution, connect to your body, and ground yourself in the here and now with bodily friendly practices. You will find your way intuitively and instinctively, even through confusing circumstances, where one moment you are sure the answer is no, and the next moment you're sure the answer is yes. Give up trying to figure out the answer right now and remain open with positive but relaxed expectation. That clarity shall emerge spontaneously according to divine timing, Capricorn. So again, this is not a month where you are the emperor. You're not entirely in control. You're moving slowly. This energy where you move through things emotionally, step into a space, what will happen in a practical is you having to understand that you don't have it all right now, Capricorn. You don't have all the answers. You don't. What you need to do this month is relax. Allow your perspective to change. Allow your perception to change. Allow that judgment to sound its horn. Okay? Because you don't necessarily know what to do. This is a time to heal. It's a time to change. Things are confusing, or they were confusing. You're stepping out of a confusing time. Just shift the emotional body. Control what you can control. Find the power in taking control again of those little things. Great power comes with great responsibility comes great power. Great responsibility comes great power. Right? You're stepping up again, but not so big. And there's a lot of greatness in not being so big, right? There's a lot of beauty in not having to be the one who's on the throne. It's okay. Just get back up. It's a slow movement, right? September was an interesting month, and you're just stepping back into a place of empowerment, of strength, shifting the emotional body, right? Allowing what was dark to submit to the light. And then you realize in the practical sense, it's not about having the right answer. It's not about knowing exactly what to do right now. Things are weird. They're a little strange. And that's okay. That's okay. Just relax. Relax expectation. 4 of spades. Relax. Let go of those limitations. Allow this judgment to move through your body and realize that you're more okay than you think. Just because you don't know exactly what to do, just because you're not the authority, doesn't mean anything. There's nothing to fear. Some of you can feel like because you don't have control entirely, it seems like someone else is going to control you. At the bottom of the advice deck, we have come to life with releasing allegiances. So again, we see this interesting thing because what we see here is independence when it comes to the way in which you're moving forward and ending the pattern when it comes to connections or chains or the ties that bind when it comes to other people and places. And then we see here with releasing allegiances and come to life. So you're being reborn, Capricorn. Like we said, you are being reborn this month. It's okay to not be the one on the throne this month. It's actually a gift. You're able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off without the whole world watching, right? So it's a nice energy. You're easing back into empowerment and you come to life. You disconnect from the old. This can be old people, places, and most importantly, old ideas about you, old ideas about what it is that you were once dealing with, Capricorn. There's a great shift that happens in October. And like I said, October is an energy that moves slowly. There's something about October that moves slowly for you, SeaGoat. It moves slowly, and I like it. I like that it moves slowly. Okay, Capricorn, at the bottom of the healing points deck, we have Sovereign Queen Maeve. Okay, and so what do we need to know about this energy? Vulva as well can be found at the bottom there when you split the deck, which is all about understanding how not to control things from the outside, but from the inside. Sovereign Queen Maeve is about it's my Queen of Swords energy. It's about protecting yourself from things and people that, let's say, that seem compassionate, but you need to still protect yourself regardless, right? So this energy is about stepping into a space of the Queen of Swords. You're separating, a lot of you are separating from, sorry about that, SeaGoat, we got cut off, but you're separating from paradigms, okay? So maybe I'll do it. You're separating from paradigms. So as you separate from paradigms, that can also mean separating from people. Okay, remember, this is your personal reading. So this is me inside of you, SeaGoat, right? This is me inside of your belly. And what can showcase on the outside when it comes to this energy is, yes, separating from people. A lot of you guys can be separating from groups of people, because it's a paradigm that's shifting inside of you. And Sovereign Queen Maeve lets me know that as well. There's something about you this month that's very Queen of Swordsy. That's you're really inside of yourself this month, Capricorn. It feels very alone. There's something about it. I mean, we see independence here. We see you as this powerful Knight of Pentacles, right? But there's something about this energy that feels very alone. It feels very much like internal and self-protective, right? And that's the thing about this energy. You take responsibility for your experiences. You're navigating weird, kind of confusing circumstances and learning how to let go in that way. You're not entertaining anything that doesn't serve, especially as you're going through this emotional renewal. I wanted to take a second to look at Pandora's gift. Pandora is all gifted and all given, or giving, excuse me. Her presence invites you to forego your belief in judgment. Judgment, Capricorn. Now is the time to surrender the misplaced guilt that you may have brought upon yourself or another. Some terrible happening. It is time to let go of the shame-based belief in punishment. This is a belief that you deserve to be brought to task over any perceived imperfection or that the natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. Pandora frees the soul from such torment. This is her gift. The human journey necessarily involves learning through experience. There is no shame in your learning process. Pandora's presence is a new sign of a new time. Time to swap the notion of inherent shame for the acceptance of inherent divinity. From this moment on, how unstoppable shall you become? Right, so this is again sitting next to heaven sent, Capricorn. So Pandora's gift is this powerful energy where you are awakening to what sits inside of your own box, SeaGoat. That's the advice that's being asked to be given to you. You are divinely guided. You are this divine being. You are this divinely guided person, right? What is God trying to tell you? What is a divine trying to tell you, right? And that's the advice here. As you separate, as you break up with old paradigms, old people, old perceptions, letting go of these limitations, allowing yourself to be in a more relaxed state, as you move through these fears of what's bigger than you or what can control you, step into this divinity that sits inside of you. Let go of shame. Let go of your inherent sense of shame. There's a lot to be discovered when it comes to you, Capricorn. There's something about this month that's very introspective. Very introspective. You're going through this journey inside as you pick yourself back up and move. Now, at the bottom of the tarot, we've got the Lovers. We also see Death at the bottom there when we cut the deck. So the Lovers lets me know that this is a major arcana happening in your subject. So again, we go into the space where the subject is quite the big energy, right? What's going on in your subject is quite serious. So what's happening to you throughout the month is something some big shift. And when we see the Lovers, yes, we talk about choices, but in this case, Capricorn, I'm not going to deny, I'm not going to lie to you. This feels like a second coming, but it's more about you. It's you. It's you refining or expanding on the love within you. What are you connected to? What are you willing to connect to on a great degree? Right? It's like it's an intense shift in energy that is leading you into a new paradigm, but a paradigm that pulls into you a new sense of, again, love, transition, choices around what you actually want around you. And I don't want to say who you want around you, Capricorn, because like I said, there's something about your personal life that is feeling very introspective, that is feeling very alone. But you're pulling like a magnet energies into you. You're pulling things into you. There is nothing to fear, like we said, with what's going on in the shadow. You're bigger than the shadow. And so it's a nice energy. Like I said, I like what's going on. I like what's going on, even though it feels internal, feels inside. It feels, how many people know what it is that you're going through? If they sit and they watch, they'll see you going through this shift. They'll see you picking yourself back up, and you may not be answering calls. You may be internal. You may be really self-focused, but you're aware of your magnetism. You're aware of your truth, right? You're aware of what you need to pull into you. So, Capricorn, from here, we're going to get into what it is that we need to know. And at the bottom of our lovely deck of cards here, we have the Seven of Hearts. So again, understanding the great options of your life. And at the bottom of the clarity deck, we have the Runner. So it's interesting when it comes to the runners, this goes back into what it is that I'm saying, Capricorn. There's something about you where you're disconnecting. You are disconnecting. You're disconnecting from people, anything that makes you feel codependent, bonded, tied to. You guys are choosing you. You're choosing you, and you're choosing to be the runner. You're choosing to no longer connect and stay stuck in connections that don't give back to you, situations that don't give back to you. You're focused on pulling in what it is that you want. You're a magnet this month, but you're a magnet because you're aligning with your desires from an independent space. You're breaking up and disconnecting from anything that doesn't give back, and you're starting over. It's a nice energy, Capricorn. I like this. It's a very quietly powerful, quietly empowered energy. Oh, and at the bottom of the shadow deck there, I saw the Two of Canes, which is the fear of not being able to move forward. Yeah, that Emperor energy is making you feel like that looming, powerful, who's the authority, who has power over you. For some of you, this can just be people in your life, right? Power struggles, power dynamics. And it gives you this fear that you won't be able to move forward. Will I be able to move forward? Is somebody going to step in my way? Now that I'm feeling so autonomous, who's going to try to challenge me? Who's going to try to challenge this? Release, relax, relate, and release, Capricorn. Okay, so what is it you need to be thinking, feeling, doing, being? All right, so we have thinking. Look at that, Capricorn. We've got peace, feeling. The Two of Cups. Remember, again, we have the Lovers and going with Two Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So again, we see this energy of the Seven of Cups, because first we saw it with the Seven of Hearts. So here we are back into this energy, Capricorn. And what I love is what it is that needs to be on your mind. Peace, Capricorn. Double confirmation when we saw that Four of Spades, you needing to let go of your worries. Peace is on your mind, Capricorn. What are you giving your energy to versus what you're not giving your energy to? Do not overwhelm yourself, SeaGoat. Like we said, don't try to figure out the answers. Give up trying to figure it out. Divine timing is at play. You are divinely guided. Remember, rely on your divine truth. Rely on the truth of who it is that you are. Let go of the shame. Let go of the blame. Let go of whatever misperceptions you have about yourself. Open your own box. Open your own Pandora's box and see the gifts that are inside of you. You're getting inside of you this month, Capricorn. You are awakening to you. You're breaking through you. And so on your mind, listen, this fear that you have of the conqueror, it's not necessary, right? As peace is on the brain. Peace equals progress. Remember I said that to you guys last year. Peace equals progress. You're going to be fine. Keep this in your mind. It's a major arcana. Keep this in your mind, and you will navigate all situations with balance and grace. Okay? Then what is it you need to be feeling? The Two of Cups, Capricorn, again, confirmation, because we were looking at the lovers in terms of the overarching energy for the subject. Like I said, you're magnetic this month. You're magnetic even though you're focused on you. You're getting back up, and you guys can come off very enticing this month, very attractive because of the way you that self-focus and that rebuilding of awareness of self, and you're stepping out of those worries and those anxieties, and it's like, actually, I'm okay. Actually, I'm standing up again. Something very magnetic about you. And like we see with the lovers, you're attracting in, you're pulling in what you desire. You're pulling in what you want. That magnetism is giving you a new narrative. And what your feelings need to be in is in that Two of Cups. So you may be walking away from entire groups of people, but aligning with the new ones, aligning with what actually works for you, whom actually works for you. Be focused on connection, not worry. Be focused on connection, not this fear of authority, right? Pull it into you. Keep your heart open, SeaGoat. There's always people. There's always something that wants you just as much as you want it. Keep the magnetism alive. Keep the manifestation alive. So what's going on in terms of what it is that you need to be doing? Very strong with the Ace of Swords. Powerful in letting you know, Capricorn, for this month, like we saw with the Judgment, you're getting a strong awareness of your actual life this month, of who it is that you are, what it is that you really deserve, all of these anxieties and these worries and these fears that you've been allowing to sit with you. Breaking through this, pushing through this, right? Putting yourself in a better position, breaking through the clouds, Capricorn. You need to be focused on the fact that October is trying to show you a new story. You're getting a new narrative. Lots of clarity. And who it is that you need to be, SeaGoat? We've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. So stop being this elusive, I don't know, I can't make a choice, I don't understand what to do. That's not where it is that you want to be. There's nothing to be lost here on. And I think the Seven of Cups energy, as we saw it with being aware of the possibilities, you also need to be the person that's not feeling, again, I think that has put you in a space of confusion. The Seven of Cups is a person who's confused, like we see with this energy. You can navigate these confusing circumstances. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in this, but what could be, and confused about what the possibilities are. There's no worry there, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. And lastly, spin the silken thread divine. All right, my SeaGoats. In creating precious silks, there is a sorting process, sifting out that which is broken to find that which is precious and pure. You are commencing a new cycle, beloved. You are commencing a new cycle, SeaGoat. We just said this. You are commencing a new cycle, beloved, and it is time to allow for that which is more precious and pure. Capricorn. Allow for that which is more precious and pure, that which you wish to take with you into the future, to continue to and to release that which does not align with your true heart, Seagoat. Sometimes we need to help ourselves access the new cycle by releasing vows from this or other lifetimes, ending the cycle, releasing old emotional patterns and calling in wisdom and talents from past lifetimes. You are guided to accept this healing now. Your past is calling to you. It is calling to be cleared, to be released, and for the beauty and power of the past to be claimed in the present moment. Woven together like a precious rare silk, all the experiences, mistakes, adventures, and success of your past in this life and other lifetimes have given your soul plenty of material from which to draw its wisdom like fine silken threads being woven into a beautiful fabric. It has had to grow in awareness, light, capacity, and love in order to be where it is that you are now, Seagoat. I don't think there's much else to be said from there. Very clearly, you're releasing the old pattern, aligning with the new, shifting this energy in your time, in your pace, in this slow deepening. Allow yourself to deepen this month, Capricorn. You're deepening. You're getting stronger. You're getting more intense. I wished I had the right word to describe it, but this is a month of deep internal solitude because of stability building inside. Stability building inside. And I like this energy for you. It's a beautiful energy, Seagull. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. You're breaking free from old patterns, old ideas, old concepts, realizing how you've been standing in your own way, realizing how it's your own misperception, dealing with what is going on in the shadow. Do not allow yourself to get lost in this in the sauce. Capricorn, with this 7 of Cups energy that's overthinking and confused and overwhelmed, and get out of your head, Seago. Peace is in mind. Focus and connect with those that want to connect with you. Leave your heart open. Allow for new senses of clarity because you do not know your life the way that it can be. You only know your life the way that it has been. Okay, so I love you so very, very much, my lovely sea goats. And yeah, ciao.